ahead, Christina.
Hi. Hi to the host, the co-host, the room. I've been in these spaces. I don't usually talk, I just listen, but I was just wondering why TS Giselle, why she's upset because Mr. I'm sorry, Tazaric went
Azaria.
to Tazaria, okay. Sorry. Went to Tariq Nasheed to find out the information. If she was like the first lady, wouldn't you be happy he went to Tariq? Isn't he like the what is it? The first man of FBA or something? Like the head guy? Wouldn't you be happy he went there just to get the clarification? I don't understand why you're upset about that.
Okay, go ahead, Adonis.
Yes. I'm hearing people say that Giselle is a gay man. She's not gay. I'm gay. I'm a gay man, a gay black man, and she is not a man. She's not
Not even
gay.
a she. Y'all
Uh,
gay as fuck. Y'all
when
sissies.
I don't know what
yes, I
happened.
am a
All right,
sissy.
hold on. Tick, go ahead.
So, what? So I'm just saying, what she does. She's part of the trans
Hello,
community.
you there? Your hands are up. Go ahead.
I am.
Adonis is there. You can't hear Adonis.
Hello. I just want to make sure that
Okay.
I
people
hear him. I hear him
know
talking.
that when
I
you
can.
Oh, he's
are
talking? Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
talking
I
I can
can't
hear
hear him. Okay.
Adonis talking.
about Giselle
Oh, Adonis is
Adonis,
talking? All
can you
right.
check your
using
DM also, please?
okay, and when y'all refer to her as that, um, I'm afraid that the only person those words like the F word apply to in this space are me because I'm the only homosexual in
So you're
here.
saying you're a faggot?
Yeah,
Why?
because I'm a homosexual.
Why does that make you a faggot?
Cause he be
Because
diggling
that's
in
what
booty.
you
He a
call
Willy
me.
Wonka. He goes in that
Y'all
chocolate
call me
factory.
that.
The fuck?
Y'all call me that on the app.
I never call you a faggot.
But I'm the only one in this room that applies to. She's not a gay man. Gay men don't look like that.
She's not a
And
she.
gay men are not attracted to T.S. Giselle.
So what is
We
that?
like men. We like men. We like men. Grown men, not girls.
That's
Giselle
not a
presents as a
girl.
woman. She is, by all accounts,
That's a
a
boy.
woman. That's some stuff
Hey,
y'all can
Adonis, when you say by all accounts a woman, right? What makes up a woman?
in my country, in the United States of America,
Hmm.
she is legally recognized
I'm
as a
asking
woman.
And
you
in
what
our
makes up
country,
a
if
woman.
that nigga play football on Sunday, that nigga a man. And that nigga play
What I'm
football.
asking
So
you,
I
so
just want
like,
Yo,
so
what
to
do
like
you what do
Adonis,
you mean
understand.
in your
Adonis.
country, bro? A
I
woman is a woman no
Hey,
This
wait,
matter
is
where
wait,
you
why I
wait,
go.
hey, hey,
believe
wait.
in
Let's try to have a two-way
And
conversation.
I
Control your African.
so
So
hold
Adonis,
on,
when
Adonis.
you're
Hold on, really quick, Adonis. I wanted to say, for the person from the Gambia, I don't address refugees. Thank you.
Hey, Adonis, what when you
so
say
the
what is a woman?
LGBT
What is a
thing.
woman?
So a woman is an adult human female. So
Okay, no, because see that's just a statement again. What makes up a woman? What makes up the female?
a woman is an adult human female. So in the
So no, I don't want you to do that because it's almost sound like a politician type of talk. So you have a male, you have a female. There's things that identify the makeup of a male, like a Y chromosome, like a penis. There's things that make up a woman, her chromosome, a vagina. So, do you agree with that or do you look at it differently? I'm just trying to understand your lens. This ain't a gotcha moment. I'm trying to understand your lens. So, what do you identify as a woman?
These niggas got donuts and bananas between their legs, my nigga.
That's to Adonis. You gonna answer Adonis?
oh shit, my mic was muted. Um, she is a transgender woman.
No, I'm not talking about him. I'm asking you, what do you identify as a woman, female? That's what I'm
I
asking you.
personally identify a woman as an adult human female.
So how when you look at when you look at a person, right? or when you think of a female, when you think of a woman, what are the attributes? What are the things that you're looking as an identifying marker that, hey, this is a woman?
It's not like I know if you're a woman, like just by like looking
By
at
what?
you, like how you speak. I mean, everyone can tell the difference. It's like looking at a different breed of dog. Like
So
you know a
would you
Chihuahua
say it
is different than like a golden retriever. Like you don't.
right? But it would be so you're not saying it's how they're born because you know a Chihuahua by how it's born. You know a Rottweiler by how it's
So
born. A pit
I
bull by so
recognize
isn't.
that
Mhm.
women are different than men, but in the modern
So let
times,
me ask you more bluntly: is a vagina an identifying marker as what a woman is?
yes,
Right. So if a woman has a vagina, then that's a woman. If a woman doesn't have a vagina, then that's not a woman, right?
yes,
What about ovaries? If a woman has ovaries, if she has a menstrual cycle, those are identifying markers as a woman, right?
yes,
Okay, so then I would say that we identify a woman the same. A woman is a woman that has the physical makeups or the genetic makeups of what a girl would be born as. We agree, right?
yeah.
And you're saying that first lady has those things?
I'm saying that legally and socially, she is fully a woman. She
Okay,
lives
but
her
why
life
did you
as a
switch to
woman
legally and socially?
This is
because
crazy,
Like we were
bro.
basically
This
talking about
he is
biologically.
slow, bro. He is
Brother,
I'm
slow.
I
not
He's
got it,
slow.
brother.
slow.
Y'all don't
I'm having
understand.
to
Yeah,
live
brother,
in the
y'all just
reality.
gotta let us have the
This is the
conversation.
reality that we are in now.
I got it. So
Trans people are not going anywhere.
I got
I'm
no,
not
no.
going to get
I get where you're
fired
going. No, no, Adonis,
or
relax, relax. You and I are having this
I
conversation.
know.
I just want to get us to a point where what you're talking about is not what a woman is
So
biologically.
let's say
You're
this.
talking.
So there are
Let me see if
multiple trans women that
wait, no,
make
no,
it.
no. Let me just say this so I can because I can understand if I can get it like this. You're not identifying a woman biologically when it comes to first lady. You're
I'm
identifying a woman legally what America says, correct?
I am I have to respect the general public. And if there's a woman at the Nordstrom counter that is selling me something and I know this person is trans, I'm not going to say man to that person. I'm going to treat them and respect them as a woman because that is who they are. That's who they are presenting to be.
How
And
do you
But
know they're
it
what I'm
doesn't
saying
trans?
is this is
require
not
a
from a
lot
How do
of
you know they're
biological
trans?
energy
position. But what I'm saying,
because I
Adonis,
can
it's not
tell. I
Adonis,
can
it's not
tell.
coming from a biological position though. It's coming from
I
an American
understand.
legal. I'm asking you, if that's
Yes,
your
I have
position,
two separate definitions. I have the
thank
you're
you.
born a woman, and then I have 2025. This is what it is.
There's
Thank
Trans
you,
only
people.
one
but I
definition.
thank you.
This is crazy
So
work.
with that said,
So I can't sit you. There's no way you are ever going to get me to walk up to a trans woman and tell her she
I'm
is a
not
man
asking you to do that.
or
I'm not
treat her
asking you.
like
Spicy
she's a
No,
boy.
man.
no, no. I'm not asking you to do that. But at the same time, you don't want nobody to get you to say anything. You can't say nothing to men that identify women the normal way that it's been in existence until America changed the rules.
So can you just call them by like their first name if you don't want to say her or she? Just use their first name.
I might not know their
Well, what
first
is the
name.
first name?
This well at Nordstrom they usually like say hi. I'm. It will be some like gender neutral name
Like
Mhm.
Sadi,
But I'm
like
Sadi,
asking you
Charlie
what
or
is the
something.
Sodomite.
name. I'm not asking you what Nordstrom says. I'm
I'm just
asking
saying
you
that's
what's
the
the.
only
You can
place
call
I've ever
anybody, but
seen trans people,
what I'm
or
saying is
the
I can
ones that
agree with
work in
you.
the store.
You can call a person by their name, because calling a person by their name is not yielding to whatever they're identifying as.
Right.
You would just have to give what the name is. I
So,
agree with you there. Let's say if they call themselves Andy, or if they call themselves Tanya, or if they call themselves
or
William,
or Adam
you can
for
call
Adam's
them.
apple.
so in the workplace, if like I
Hmm.
don't have any trans people that work for this organization that I'm aware of, but
Right.
if someone is transgender and they want to be referred to as she, her, I have to do that. Otherwise, the company is going to get sued for discrimination.
But
They're
we're
going
not
to
at the
say that this is
workplace. We
sex-based
outside.
registration, and then you're going to put the company at risk. So it's easier just to go along with it
Hmm.
and keep things pushing and don't
But
be
what
a
I'm asking you is,
distraction.
so now that we're in the Twitter space, right, or social media space, what is the name outside of him and her? What is the name that we should say? Shouldn't we just say their name? Like, let's say,
Just
like I
say
said,
their
if that's
name. If you
that's what
don't
I'm
want to
asking
No,
you.
accept, just say
Adam,
I'm
their
a
name.
Adam,
Just say the name.
for
so
Adam's
that's what
apple.
I'm asking you. So all I'm asking you is what is the name?
Adam's
I'm
apple.
not arguing with you. I'm asking
If
you
you
what's the
don't,
name.
So they're not a biological woman. They are a trans woman. They have transitioned. Whatever their transition looks like is different from them. Some of them will try to appear like the opposite gender. Some
Right,
of them will do nothing and just say that they're women.
right,
At this point in time, the way things are and the laws, the way that they are protected by sex-based discrimination. So you
right,
can't harass someone by repeatedly and purposely misgendering
right.
them.
But you're talking about the workplace. I'm talking about right here, right now.
I
Like
can't do
you
that.
made a point to try to. Okay, but what you did do was here's the problem. You want them to get respect for what you identify them as, but you want to force those that don't respect what they identify as to accept what you want them to identify
So
as.
wouldn't a
So the
compromise
only
be?
medium, the only compromise is if their name is Tony, let's say whatever gender, let's say if it's a man identifying as a woman or a woman identifying as a man, but they go by Tony. Isn't the compromise to just call him Tony?
Yes,
Now
just
you know
call them by the first name. You don't have
that's
to
what I'm
do the she,
that's what I'm
her.
saying. Right,
Just use their first name and then leave it at that, and you can get
right.
around.
Correct.
But
I
there's
agree with
not
that.
that
So that's
many trans
so I'm
people though. Like it's a very like that's literally the only time in my life I've ever seen a trans person is like the one or two they have working at Nordstrom. That's it. That's my first encounter.
that must
It
be
was
your
like
favorite
last
place
year.
to shop at. That must be your
Yeah.
favorite place to shop.
So I just want to
So
say
I agree. So like I agree that you can call somebody by their name, and then by calling them by that name, it doesn't compromise your belief, nor goes through no whole disrespectful thing of
right
theirs.
because we
I agree
always
with that.
recognize
The,
people's nicknames and like
exactly.
short names,
The
like if
only
their name
problem
is
I
something
have,
weird and
I agree. The only problem that I have is when anyone tries to force me to accept what they've transitioned to. That's when I have the problem. But I'm glad you, as a gay man, can agree that that shouldn't be forced on somebody, and that you should have a compromise. That's what you're saying, right?
My bad. Let's go to Jamba.
Yeah, you booted the nigga off.
You bullshitting.
Sodomite, sodomite.
Even in the bullshit though, it exposed that they bullies.
Sir,
Because if anybody
you're
tries
from an
to,
underdeveloped third world country, so I don't know what type of superiority
Sodomite. Go
you're
suck my
supposed to
egg,
have
man.
over
Go play
someone.
football this weekend. I
Um,
know you're gonna beat.
Perhaps
Hey,
you
you
should
playing for the
uh,
Ravens this week, nigga. Know
take
you're
a
gonna
boat
win,
back
nigga.
home to
he
your
said he playing for
homeland
the
You
Ravens.
playing
and
for the Ravens this
and
weekend, you bitch ass
establish your
nigga.
economy
We know you're
before
gonna
you
win. We're
come
gonna
for
win this.
me.
I'm gonna bet on your bitch ass though.
And I might be LGBTQ, but I'll never be a refugee,
Or you
bitch.
Q2BGL quarterback,
I'm not even a refugee.
left
I'm in my
linebacker,
country. What are you talking about?
and
I'm in my country.
Tackmaster, you
I'll
punk
never
ass.
be a refugee.
You gonna
Okay.
go play the
And
linebacker
And
in
anybody,
Denver?
let me tell
And
you,
as for
anybody
Jamba,
like you, anybody
you're
like
days
you should be
away.
getting lynched.
And for
You should be getting.
All right, we got Divinity up here. Divinity, go ahead.
you're days away
Yes,
from
so
going back.
I I just wanted to say that there's a lot of feelings and beliefs and religion and everything, and I'm not here to tell anybody what to believe in, but what I am here to tell you is that I relate to the transgender struggle, being that people try to tell me about myself all of the time. If I tell somebody you a fuck ass nigga, people want to tell me I'm angry. But I could be having the happiest time of my life. And so to me, I see the same thing where it's that same mentality. If you're telling somebody about themselves, I feel like you're crossing boundaries. I don't see how we can tell somebody who they are and who they're not just simply by our own external observations. So me
Can I ask you a question?
personally, yes.
How do you compare the two when you're somebody is forcing you to accept who they are? Let's say if I
I'm
don't
forcing you
let's
to accept my emotions. I'm forcing you to accept my emotional state. I'm forcing you to accept my
how are
identity.
you doing that? Break that
Because if
down.
I'm happy, then I expect you to believe that I'm happy because I told you that.
Well, if you're happy, you ain't gotta tell
That's
me.
not
Just
this.
live your
That's
life
not the same.
happy. What the
That's
hell?
not. I'm gonna tell you. Wait, brother. Relax. That's not the same. What I
How is
mean
that?
by forcing, because by forcing you, they tell a woman she can't call herself a woman. She have to be a cisgender. She has to be a birthing person. Her whole being of what she known as her breast and breastfeeding has to change to fit the narrative of what someone else feels. You wanting to feel good, There ain't nothing that says nobody else has to change what they think about good for your emotion. So how do
My
you compare the
womanhood,
two?
my womanhood is not threatened by somebody calling themselves a woman, believing they are
I
a
didn't.
woman. It's not threatened. Your
We're not.
masculinity should
You're
not be
making an
threatened.
individ. You're making an individual argument,
I'm
but right
talking to
now,
myself.
but remember what you. This is not an
And
individual argument.
divinity,
What I
I'll just
said.
say to you, sister, that this person belongs to a group.
She said.
No woman's womanhood is threatened
So
by
you're
the
telling me that they say you're telling me that they don't say you have to say you're a birthing person right now in society.
nobody says that. People can call me a birthing
No,
person.
I'm
I
not.
don't
No,
have
no.
to call myself that.
But why? I'm asking you. Why are they using birthing person instead of pregnant woman now? I'm asking you.
Because that's what they want to do. Is a womanhood
No,
only
you're
about
being now you're
incubation?
being this is what I
No,
mean. Like it's one
no.
thing to stand on.
Is a
It's
woman
one thing to
only a
stand
birthing
on what you
person?
believe. It's another to be dishonest.
You're
The
trying
only
to make
reason
me upset that
I'm not
somebody
trying to
in the
make you
world
upset. No, I'm not
calls
trying to make you upset.
women birthing persons.
I'm not trying to make you upset.
So
I
what
didn't
is
even make
dishonest?
I didn't
What is
make up the
dishonest?
term.
Because
I
now
didn't
you're
make
telling
up
me about myself, which is the same thing.
because when why does the term birthing person exist?
Because somebody else made it up.
And it's accepted, right? In society, right?
No one has said that here. No one uses that term.
When you say no one says it here, where's the here at?
All of these 500 people in this chat, I have not heard that until
Got
you've
you.
responded to
I,
me.
I
I have
understand.
not seen birthing person in like 2 years.
Got you. I understand. So what I'm speaking of is not in this room. I'm speaking of you made this. You said that you compare transgender and wanting to be transgender to your
No,
emotion. That's what
no,
you said.
no. I say the way that you are forcing yourself on me and you're trying to tell me that I'm dishonest is the same disrespect that y'all pay to
I'm not
transgender
talking about
people.
before I said the
I
dishonest part.
am.
How
That's
before I
exactly what I'm
said that
talking about. This is
before I
exactly
said
what
the
I'm talking
dishonest
about.
part, you started off by
Mm-hmm.
saying that you
Mm-hmm.
compare
Mm-hmm.
transgenders to
No,
people telling you you could be totally
no,
happy. That's what you
no,
said. You
no, that's
saying you
not what I
didn't say
said.
that? Can you tell
Correct.
me what you said in the beginning?
I sure can. What
Thank
I
you.
said was, I relate to the disrespect y'all pay towards transgenders because we're sitting here having a whole entire conversation about someone else's identity. If I'm not them, I'm not in their body. I don't feel what they feel. I have not seen their genitalia, and y'all think it's polar. Y'all think it's binary. It's not. It is
Uh,
not.
What?
There are
okay,
women.
no
There
problem. The
are
conversations
women
that I just had with
I
that
have
gay man.
seen with my own two eyes
Uh-huh.
whose vagina does not look like what you think a female vagina.
What? What?
Okay, so wait,
Correct.
I didn't hear her,
Correct.
but so
There are men
I just
whose
had a
penises
conversation.
have
I
micro
just
penises. Have we not heard of these things?
I just had a conversation with that gay man on the stage. I'm not the one muting you, by the way, but I just had a conversation with that gay man on the stage, and I said it's fair to call that person by their name. The only issue that I have is when you force me to call you him, her, XYZ. So if I don't call you him, her, or whatever you identify as, but I call you by your name, I'm not being disrespectful. But I think that the LBGTQ community, they're the ones that are putting the attack on mainly women, I might add, by having them change what they identify themselves as because they don't want to offend a transgender person. That's what I'm speaking to.
I hear you. And because I know there's a lot of emotions and beliefs regarding the transgender existence, I'm using another parallel to help you understand the logic behind why that is offensive and why that is disrespectful. Because the same way we have conversations about other people's identity, for myself, for other women, I've never had a transgender person tell me I need to call myself cis. If a transgender person calls me a cisgendered woman, that does not offend me. If a transgender person is actually trying to force somebody else to identify themselves in a certain way, now we've reached full circle and you're trying to tell somebody else their identity. Just because someone is using new terminologies does not mean cisgendered woman, natural born woman have to change our identities. That's not what's happening here. Nobody is threatening femininity. Nobody is threatening womanhood. Nobody is threatening any of that. But what I'm telling you is that the same energy where we're sitting here trying to tell somebody else, you're a man, you're a woman, but you don't know them, is the same energy I see all day long in all type of spaces. I see that way more than people calling a natural born woman a birthing person. I see so many people telling you, you feel like this and you feel like that, and you need to do this and you need to do that, and you are this and you're thinking that, and that was your intention and that was that. How are you going to argue with me about me? That's what I know. So if we
But
can
I
talk
agree that you
that
can't
energy,
argue with somebody. I agree that you can't argue with somebody about you. But what I disagree is when there's a movement to force people to change the way and what they say about themselves. That gay man said if that person comes to work and he identifies as he, him, or her, he has to be recognized because it's in the workplace. So for somebody that doesn't believe in that psychology, they have to now play make believe with this person to fit their needs. So they have to change their beliefs. Somebody's going to have to change what they believe in. Either the transgender is going to have to change what they believe in, or the straight person is going to have to change what they believe in to accommodate the other. You can't argue that.
do
If a
you
person
have to believe someone is a woman to call them a woman?
That's disingenuous because if a person believes that a natural born woman is the only type of woman, and if someone comes along that's not a natural born woman, and because society says so, I have to recognize it. The same way you said your feelings are being offended is the same way that person's feelings is being offended, that now has to say something just to say it to appease another person. That's why I said somebody is appeasing somebody. You can't get around that.
So
Either
then
you're
I
gonna,
present to you,
Mhm.
there's different genotypes biologically where femininity and female sex and male sex is not as simplistic as we've been told. It's not
Can
just
you
an
explain
XX
that?
and XY. There's
Can you explain?
beyond, there's 32, 44 different types of chromosomal combinations genetically. Obviously, these are minority cases. Obviously,
What do
these
you
are
know? What the
rare cases.
percentage of the minority cases is? 'Cause I believe
It
it's
doesn't
about one.
matter, but they
I
exist.
believe it's about 1% or less than 1%.
So why are we having a whole discussion about less than 1%? That's the whole point.
Because
That's my
if
whole
you're
point.
born, I'm gonna tell you why. You're making a conversation about less than 1% because this conversation ain't about biological.
Transgender
What you just
is
brought into
so
the
small.
conversation is a biological argument, that 1%. But what we're talking about as far as transgenders is not a biological argument. It's just what they turned into. So it's not biological. It's not natural. A
You
person,
don't know their biology.
let's say her an hermaphrodite. They are naturally born as a hermaphrodite. But we're not talking about a naturally born hermaphrodite. We're talking about a man that transitions to a woman or a woman that transitions to a man, and is either way you go about it, somebody has to appease to that. That's what we're talking about. So you got to pick the argument that you want to have, because if you go to biological, it's not even the biological people that's causing this change in terminology. It's the non-biological people that is causing a change in this terminology. So you got to pick a side of the argument that you want to take.
I'm talking about diversity in human populations. I'm talking about not dumbing things down to where it has to be yes, no, on, off. I'm talking about intelligence. I'm talking about gray areas. I'm talking about nuance. I'm talking about, are you 100% Democrat? Are you 100% Republican?
What?
I'm talking about
Okay. All right, sis.
But see, you kind of like, oh yeah, she
Where's
running
Jamba? Let Jamba
all
go.
over the place
Who knows?
now.
She all over the place.
complexity and
Jamba,
intelligence.
go
It's
ahead.
not
Go ahead,
whether.
Jamba.
27, you be having some good rooms.
Appreciate it, God. Jamba,
Yeah,
you
it's
want?
dope.
Okay. Okay.
I think I'm gonna
Uh,
take this room and put it on my YouTube
Yes,
channel, if
do
you
that.
don't
I
mind.
just wanna I just wanna add on. I don't know if you guys want to move from
You
this
should.
conversation, but I just want to add on a little bit. And for the lady that's saying If somebody want to be something, you cannot tell them who they want to be. Which is totally right. It's to some sense it's right. But what if me as a black man, me as an African, I said identify myself as a white man from Greenland. Does that work too?
Right. Let's ask Mamamoto.
That's a valid
Go ahead,
question.
Mamamoto.
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't have anything to add. I'm just grateful for these type of
Of
conversations.
course,
Thank
of
you.
course. There's nothing to add on to
Thank you.
that.
I appreciate you
It
men
doesn't make no
because
sense. We
a
have
lot
to.
of men
We
are scared to speak up and push back because of women that y'all just had on this stage. A lot of men are being forced into accepting things that they don't want to accept. And I appreciate you brothers not being afraid to be shamed into accepting things you don't want to accept. That is okay. And I appreciate that from you men. I do.
Big up to you, sis.